Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown here with Ryan Graham.
Hey, y'all.
And this is State of Atlanta.
Well, that was a shorter intro than normal.
Yeah. Tim's out doing something like making money or spending money, one of the two.
Something important, I guess. I don't know. Who knows?
It's more important than being here, is all I know. So I don't know what's more important than Tuesdays at 9 o'clock on a off-season week, but
June 20th.
he sure found it.
I mean, the thing is last week I missed a much more important thing with our interview with Coach Elliott, and so kudos to him. So,
yeah, he earned it after that interview. It was a good time.
He wins this round for sure.
Yeah, I wanted to actually talk about that a little bit, and it was a bummer that he couldn't be here to talk about it. But that was a good time, and I mean, did you actually listen to the interview?
Yeah. So, and like knowing you guys, like I could. I mean, it was like so casual and cool. Like, I feel like it was a little too technical, and like it could have been like dropped down a notch. But like you really did have him in like a very casual mode, and it might just be because like you've had multiple discussions with him before, and like he knows you, and like you guys are cool. But like I don't know, it just sounded real. What this podcast should be.
Right. And I felt like when we first started, we kind of bombarded him with questions like 1, 2, 3 really quickly. And I was like, wait a minute, take a step back. We're supposed to be shooting the shit with a guy. So let's get back into that. I think immediately after that is when I made some joke about not understanding what I was seeing in the stands on the field. And because I don't know football anywhere close to what he does or something like that. And anyhow, it
was a great interview. And honestly, your edit, I sensed it. I could tell when you switched. And I would have questioned it a whole bunch if I hadn't already known that you had like made a weird edit.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been like, what just happened? But because I knew, I was just like, wow, that was like smooth,
Yeah, the magic of AI. I went back and I was using that old mic that we used when we first started doing the podcast. And by the way, this is episode 200. So you and I have been doing this more or less for the past 200 weeks in a row without missing a beat. So way to go. So that original microphone where we sat around, not this table, but another table in my basement here. Or sorry, the Edgewood Studios of
What was that? Snowball?
Yeah, the blue Snowball. Yeah. And I guess I had a different adapter or something for it. And so I had problems with it all morning with it just not wanting to connect, and idiotically thought that everything would be fine for the 30, 40 minutes that we'd be on the thing with him, with Coach. And like 6 minutes in, I look up and it's just not recording. And I'm like, oh no. And so I stop the whole thing and I'm like, let me get this fixed. I ended up just using the mic on my MacBook is what I had to end up using because I knew that'd be reliable. But fortunately, Allison at Georgia State, the woman who's in charge of communications, she was happened to be recording on her phone, on her the note recording feature on your phone, record a note for yourself.
Is that what it was when we switched over? Was her note recording?
Yeah, well, what I did is I played that, and obviously the quality was not that good, but there's all these kind of like weird AI podcasting tools now. So I uploaded her entire thing to that and extracted out like that part of it. Or sorry, upload the thing, converted it, then put it into our recording and extracted those 3.5 minutes or whatever it was, and try to catch Coach's voice right at a pause. And it's obvious. I think it's more.
It's obvious, but it's good.
It's more obvious going into her audio. It's really good, I think, coming out of her audio back onto ours.
We came out of the audio.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I caught a good I caught a good deep pause on that one. So yeah, which is just funny to me talking about being 200 episodes in. When we first started this, I had no idea what we were doing. I was like hitting record, and like the next morning, I'm like, I don't know what to do to post this. I don't know how to cut out the dead air and stuff. But
well, I'm gonna be inspirational for a second. But everything you want to do is going to be something you don't know how to do in the first place, and you're going to learn how to do it. And like the whole point is to just like get out there and like get it done. Yeah. And like figure it out and just roll with the punches and figure it out. And that's how you become an expert. That's how you learn about the thing, is because you go out there and just do it.
Right. When while I consider myself far from an expert at podcast editing,
you're on your way though.
I was able to get that 3.5 minutes butchered into our interview.
It was really good. I mean, it was near seamless. Like I could tell we dropped into it. I couldn't tell we dropped out of it. I thought we just kept using the bad
the note recording. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was really good. I really appreciated it, and I appreciated all the questions too. I thought you guys asked some good questions, and he gave some good answers, and I don't know, I wasn't very upset about it at all.
It was pretty funny going into it because, like, we had been talking, knowing that you were not able to be there. He and I had been talking privately, like, what we're gonna do, and he's like, man, I got some questions I want to write, but I've been so busy at work. Whatever. So we meet up beforehand. We get to the stadium. And we're not allowed to drink during the interview. So, of course, I bring a 6-pack and I pound 2 Tropicalias really quick while we're standing there.
Anybody who watches our Twitter knows that already because there was a nice video of him driving in, drinking a beer, and then going in.
Well, no, not drinking while driving. Just not
I said
drinking
driving in, then drinking a beer, then going in. I said
right.
I said it in the right order.
I just want to make sure. I want to make sure. But so we go there, and he starts reading his questions off, and my questions are kind of like, how bad does NIL suck now? And his questions are, in the offseason, we lost a coach, and now we brought in Coach Staggs. And how has the team been impacted? Like, he had like this very well written, like, 3 or 4 line question. I'm like, you're better at this than me. But
well, I mean, so and just to add a little bit more color to it, like my question would have been like, what the F are you drinking? You know what I mean? So like we're good. You're like the middle of the line, and he's like top of the line, and I'm just like bottom of the barrel.
I've always considered myself the Mario from Super Mario Brothers 2, because you remember Super Mario 2? That's one where you get to play as Peach and Luigi and Toad and whatever.
That's the weird one that was never ever Mario in the first place, but it became Mario.
But like, so Luigi could jump really high, and Princess could kind of float for like a long, and then Toad was really fast at pulling up his little dumb radishes and crap like that. But Mario was just kind of okay at everything. Like, he didn't excel. I've always considered myself the Mario. I don't excel at anything, but I'm okay at a lot of stuff. Just not great.
Princess was the bomb in that game.
Oh god, yeah.
That's who you played as.
Why
Princess
you would play as? Why you would play as anybody other than why? I almost said Bo Peep, because that's what my second kid says. She calls her. It's hard to understand her. She either calls her Bo Peep or Bo Peach. I can't make out which one it is exactly, but that's what she has to play whenever we do Mario Kart or any of that kind of stuff. So.
Oh, and this new Super Mario movie. I watched it with Izzy the other day, and she asked to have the Peaches song put on her radio or whatever, and like it is, whew, that is a catchy song.
Yeah, same kid. She calls that the new show. She just wants to watch. I want to watch the new show. I want to watch the new show.
Super Mario.
It's Super Mario Brothers, which is a great movie. It's actually really good. I enjoyed it.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
So back to the interview. We won't talk about that too much, but I don't have a lot for us to talk about tonight. Coach was cool, getting those kind of candid answers. And I want to shout out to Georgia State for allowing us to do that. I don't think that Coach Elliott has actually done like a non-press related podcast or interview or something. So that was very cool to be able to have that opportunity.
Yeah.
But he kind of went on about the NIL, like I mentioned it earlier, with NIL, and he was very specific about, like, there's not a lot the university can do about it, which I think from his perspective, that's a true statement. So it's got to be more on the fan base side of things. I think their athletics can have some influence in what happens. I mean, like, they can't manage it, they can't run it, they can't organize it, but they could be like, hey guys, let's get this thing started. Y'all do it, and we'll just be here to help you along the way. And
from all the conversations I've had, they've been having conversations with consultants from like UGA and people who have been setting this up in other schools, and trying to figure out what the legal ins and outs are, because everybody's like really trying to figure out what the hell this is, right? And if you don't have a ton of money, you get help from the big boys. And I actually really appreciate that. But it's interesting to keep hearing about how that is metamorphosizing, and how you just offered us right up to be Bagmen.
If
Georgia State Bagmen, that would be cool.
The Bagmen, the carpetbaggers.
So Georgia State Bagmen, that is the name of our collective.
Okay.
It's going to be the what is the name of our podcast? State of Atlanta Bagmen TM.
All right, let's do it. We need a lot of money from people.
All we do is funnel money to players.
Yeah, it's like a legalized money laundering, effectively.
That's right. We just funnel money directly to whoever you want. So we can figure that out. And if anyone out there is really rich and wants to like give money to a player, we can figure that shit out.
Exactly. Let's do it. The opportunity is there to do something. I don't know what the hell about that.
I'm not opposed to it at all.
No,
really. If somebody really rich is listening right now and wants me to figure out how you can get money to a player at Georgia State, I will do that.
Well, and it don't have to be super rich. I mean, like if you got $100 and you want to give that to a player, we'll give it to him.
I'll find a way.
We'll find a way to give it to him.
We'll find a way. Seriously.
We will create a shirt with their name on it and sell it for $100. And
that's right.
Now you got that shirt. It's all yours.
We'll figure something out. Seriously, if anyone's listening that wants to figure that out, let us know.
If anybody wants to give us money to give to Georgia State athletes, we will be more than happy to do that and facilitate just a little slice off the top. Just a little bit for our time and energy and efforts to make sure that the players are getting the recognition and payment they deserve.
That's right. I mean, no. So I think what I heard from Coach Elliott, well, maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't know. Privately was that, I mean, these kids are looking at like $70,000 to $80,000 a year at the P5 programs, just flat, like the bench players. The last player on the roster is getting 70 to 80 grand a year to play for, UGA. So that's what they're competing against right now, because that guy will ride the bench for $70K a year. I would.
Of course, especially when you are the type of player where that the next level is probably not in your wheelhouse. You're just not. You're not tall enough. You're not fast enough. You're not strong enough. Whatever it is. And so you are there for what college athletics began in the first place, which was to provide a free education to guys, people, and while also supporting your school. Yeah, great. Yeah, now you can.
Hell yeah, I'll take that.
You take your 70, 80 grand a year and a free college degree, and you start off better than most other college graduates do across the nation.
As long as you do it.
Yeah, as long as you do it.
And the fact of the matter is, a lot of them aren't doing it. They need to. That's another thing I would like to get into, is like encouraging these kids to step up with their education that they're getting for free, because most of them aren't going to go to the NFL.
Right. You don't take the gimme programs.
Right. We're not doing underwater basket weaving.
Right. Which I would like to see that, what the majors are of our college athletes, like broken down by sport.
Yeah.
What people are actually majoring.
I think a couple of really good ones, and then it's mostly just going to be like,
the sports management, like that's like
sports management, or exactly,
the go-to. Or UNC, it's like just diagramming 3-point shots for the basketball team.
I was to say the UNC. I read that essay, and it was oh my god, I can't believe that they didn't get in more trouble.
No, the top blue chip team, you can't mess with that. You gotta make an example of a smaller program. So I guess the good news is with Coach, he did say that this is probably a lot of coach speak coming from him, but he started off saying this is the best off season they've had since the first off season, and then he finished that entire statement by saying the best off season they've ever had. So that's why I'm pretty confident that it's Coach.
One of the things that stuck out to me was he was talking about the new defensive coordinator and how he's very aggressive. And in my mind, what I wanted to ask was, how does he compare to Jesse Minner? Because that was an aggressive defense that was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, but he never worked with Mentor, though, right? Mentor was
no, but he might know about. I mean, like Jesse Minner is actually like making a name for himself now. Yeah. So he might just. I mean, honestly, as a layman, I might know about Jesse Minner just watching, the Michigan national games.
Who watches Michigan games?
What?
Who watches Michigan games?
Oh, well, I do, but I really do have a connection. Like my grandpa went there. So
I thought you just watch all blue teams.
No. Yeah, go blue. Woo. No, but I mean, the thing is I was listening to him talk about it, and I heard him describe Jesse Minner's style of defense, and I that got me excited. I was like, okay, all right, are we switching into this like aggressive style? Because that is fun to watch, and I think it's very effective. I think people who like, God, can we not be on last call? I'm trying to cuss a whole bunch. People who whatever foot around around
you can say
defense,
that. You can say that, right?
They really play off the ball and stuff. I mean, we complained for years and years and years over Georgia State teams that would play like 10 yards off the ball. And it's just like, what is going on? And then Jesse Minter came in. There's a ton of movement. There's a ton of aggression. There's like every player on the field is moving forward. They're trying to get that quarterback right away. And it was just, it was such an effective defense, and it was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that kind of leads into the only other really topic I had to talk about tonight was College Football News does their breakdown of all, FBS teams. And it just so happens that Georgia State came out this week and they were talking about, what Georgia State needs to do to be successful this season. And actually, they were pretty complimentary, honestly. If you look at what fans have been saying about the program and what like the other, fans of other programs and just like the other media we've gotten in the offseason have said, they were pretty complimentary. And they were talking about the defense. And like the one thing we got to do is just stop the opposing team from completing passes, because not to get too stat laden, when we held last season, when we held teams below 62% completion rate, we were 4-2. Anytime a team was over 62%, we were 0-6.
So part of that though is putting pressure on the quarterback, and and that is what Jesse Minter did that I loved. Was there was constant pressure, and your percentage, your pass completion percentage is going to go way down.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like that with this guy that wrote the article, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. I'm sure it's pretty common, but what he said was, that's exactly what it was. If we can get better on our defense, we can get better on our pass rush, get better on that part of the game, that we should be successful. And I'm like, yeah, well, that makes sense. To hold a team to below basically 2/3 completion percentage, yeah, that'd be rad. That'd be great. I would love it. He also had heaps of praise on Granger, which I thought was really impressive. And I think we've seen other places where Granger's listed as the best QB or second best QB in the conference this season. Just nice to see that kind of things, considering we watch him every single week and we see all the failures as much as the failures stick out more than the successes, right?
Well, I've said, I think the whole body of work from Granger would not lead you to believe that necessarily. He's not been a great quarterback. I think this is his year. I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to come out of his shell. He's going to figure it out. He's going to do it. He's going to be consistent, because that's the key. You got to be consistent. I think he's going to do it. That's me. And I've been real rough on that guy.
You sound like me talking about Quad Brown in the offseason going into 2021. Is that what it was?
No.
I was so high on Quad. I mean, I was like, this is going to be the next Dan Ellington, Nick Arbuckle.
No, I don't think that's true. But he's gonna come out of his shell. He's not gonna be the next Arbuckle or Dan Ellington. He's gonna be Granger.
He's gonna be the next Darren Granger.
He's gonna be Granger, and he's gonna do his own thing, and he's gonna be real productive, and he's gonna score us a lot of points.
If he can stay healthy on his feet and can just tighten up some of those passes, absolutely. There's no reason why he couldn't.
I think he's better on his feet than Dan Ellington, right? But he's not as good.
Oh, do you? Really?
His arm's not nearly where Dan's was.
Oh, man, I feel like I haven't looked at what the numbers are like at all, but I feel like Dan was much better on his feet, or maybe just took better reads and knew when to break away a little bit better or something. I don't know.
But he could just air it out accurately when he wanted to as well, and Granger, I don't feel like has been able to do that. I don't think he's going to be able to do that, but I think he's going to figure it out that he's not able to do that. He's going to make better decisions.
Also, I think part of my why I say that I think that Dan was better on his feet than Darren is because Dan Ellington had like a full body, like a full physical body, whereas like Granger's on these little matchstick legs, these tiny little ankles that you're just afraid at any moment could just be snapped in half like a cheap chopsticks when you're breaking them apart on delivery. Yeah, it's which is, I mean, and I'm not trying to hate on Granger. I also do believe that he'll put it together get better this season. And,
well, and we're comparing. Just know, like, if Granger, if you're listening, we're comparing you to the best of the best at Georgia State right now. We're not comparing you to Bo Schlechter or who else? That's the name that comes to mind.
Drew Little, who, like, I think that Darren Granger could actually fit inside of and wear him like a meat suit or something like that.
Jackson, we're not comparing you to him. He didn't do anything. He literally did nothing. We're not comparing you to these people.
Right.
We're comparing you to the best quarterbacks we've ever had.
Not to get distracted, I didn't mean to talk about this, but our buddy Julian from the Signal, now a graduate, he posted he's very active on the Facebook Panther Den group, and he posted a question, and it was a tough one. You get to build one Georgia State football team. Who are you putting on your quarterback, Dan or Nick? And I was like, ooh, it's a tough question to answer. And it seemed like a lot of people had the same kind of response. Like, I don't know who to pick.
That was Nick.
I said my heart picks Nick, but my brain says Dan.
So Dan was good on his feet and also had an arm. Nick was good on his feet and also had an arm, but he would just run over people. Like, when he was on his feet, he wouldn't like dodge people. He just run straight through them. He's just like, no, you're done. I compare him constantly to Cam Newton. I feel like it's a Cam Newton style of play, and it wouldn't have lasted for very long. But it's so good. I just love it. It's just like
it's fun to watch.
Style of play. Yeah, exactly. It's fun to watch. It's like Marshawn Lynch too, right? I mean, it's like just a fun style.
It's just funny that, like, with the short history of our program and the lack of success we've had overall, to be able to have a question like that about two players that just played with back-to-back seasons to each other, and be like, I really don't know the answer to it. Like, we really did have two back-to-back phenomenal quarterbacks. It sucks that they both had a crappy first year.
Yeah,
like if we could have gotten second season Nick Arbuckle for 2 seasons, second season Dan for 2 seasons, like that could have been like a really magical 4 years for Georgia State.
Yeah. And it's weird. It's a team sport. We've talked about this before.
Wait, I'm sorry. Connor Manning was in the middle of those two. I said they were back to back. Connor Manning came in the middle, and Connor Manning was very serviceable. He did a very good job. Got us our first bowl win. No disrespect to him, but just
serviceable is the word I would use.
Yeah. We didn't mention him when we were comparing Darren.
I mean, he didn't come up in this conversation until you were like, "Oh, I guess I forgot this guy." So there's that.
Right.
But I don't know what I think. I was there and then I lost it. I'm drunk. I've been drunk for a while.
Excellent stuff, man. I love it. I had to work late today, so it took me a while to get started, but I did pound several cocktails before I came on here, and here's a little more
Izzy's
vodka.
homesick, and it got to a point where she was like, Minecraft, and I was like, I need to drink some before we do this. And then we played Minecraft. It's all good.
I'm gonna build a bar. I'm gonna build a pub. I'm gonna make my. I've never played Minecraft before.
No, I do whatever she wants. Well, that's my role in Minecraft. It's rough.
See, I would be a total dick of a parent. And
I am also that.
Yeah. All right. Just back to this little college football news article. They predicted a 5.5 win season, saying the key game for the season is against Coastal, opening up the conference play, basically setting the tone. If you can go out to Conway, beat Coastal, set the tone that Georgia State's not going to be the pushover that everyone thinks. They could turn out. Which I thought 5.5 games was good, basically. So many people were predicting no bowl game this year. So
5.5 is I guess a bowl game, right?
Yeah, I mean it's not a bowl game, but it gets you closer to it. They actually put it into the bowl game could come down to Old Dominion. I think the very final line. I copied the whole thing because I thought it was kind of cool. They'll find a way to get to 5 wins against this bunch, but it should all come down to a road trip at Old Dominion in the regular season finale to get 6 wins in a bowl.
I mean, that'd be good for us.
Yeah.
If that's what happens, that's solid. I'm taking the under. So
I would take the over. I am full in on off-season mode. I am on the over. I am predicting a 7 or 8 win season. I feel good
So you
about it.
really think Granger's gonna click, or
I
he's
think
gonna get hurt really early,
he's
and
going to get
the
hurt
backup's gonna
early,
be
and
amazing.
then Braylon Ragland is going to come in and light it up as a Bartlett Panther. He's going to destroy it.
We'll be good. I think we'll be fine. I still want to take the under there. We're gonna see some growth, and I'm excited about it. And I'm gonna have a lot of fun at the tailgate and all that stuff. And we have a lot of good ideas coming up with the tailgates. We were texting each other earlier. There's gonna be some fun stuff going on. I don't know. It's gonna be a fun season.
Yeah. We're gonna try to, like, every year we've gotten the tailgates a little bit better, and I think that this season we'll take it to the next level. Theme out each tailgate, get that promoted the week beforehand, let people know what we're gonna do, and try to get a good crowd going. And I put this in our Patreon group chat. I don't know which week. I think week 1. But we need to do a full on, like, beach themed luau, roasting a pig on a spit, like, get it going, like, the Hawaiian shirts, the sunscreen on the nose, the big straw hats. Like,
should we dig a pit like behind the bricks, and like that's where we bury the pig and like cook it overnight?
I was thinking about bringing some big cinder blocks and setting up an actual spit where we could sit there and turn it over some coals.
I don't want to turn it. No, that sounds like work.
No,
I just want to bury it.
That's why we had kids. That's why you and I had kids, was to sit there and do the manual labor for us. We'll figure it out.
It's too loud because she's right upstairs, but I hope my kid doesn't come. So.
Oh, my daughter said that actually that she wants, my oldest says that she wants to go to every Georgia State and Falcons game with me this year, and I was like, Falcons is a hard pass because those tickets are super expensive if mommy and daddy go together. Georgia State first game, no, because it's a school night and it's a night game. But after that, yeah, she'll be at probably be. But at the
also,
rest of the games.
That feels good, right? You're like,
yeah.
I mean, because my kid is like, I don't want to go. And I'm like,
she even said,
I get sad about it, but then I'm also like, oh.
And she also said, I want to tailgate with you. Like, I want to tailgate too. And I'm like, all right, well, that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. It's a good space for it. I mean, you just she's old enough now where you just like, she can just roam.
And they're doing more stuff out there. Like, I was told some changes are going to be coming to the tailgate environment out there, which I think is just going to make it better. I think it's going to make it better for the casual fan. I think it's going to make it better for the fan that comes out there early like we do. Not that there's a lot of them. I think it's going to be a lot of fun out there.
But there would be if there was more to it.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to go out there and we're going to win the Publix tailgate of the game every week. And if we don't, then it's a rigged system. So
whether we win it or not, we're gonna win.
Exactly. We're gonna win. We're gonna walk out of there as winners every single time.
They're opening like tomorrow or the next day or something.
Yeah, it's the 21st, right? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
We should go out there and do a live event. No, that's stupid.
I'll eat some of those chicken wings.
You will eat the chicken wings. We could have maybe it's a thing we do. We do a Publix chicken wing eating contest. See who can put the most down in 6 minutes or something.
I'd lose.
Yeah, not about the binge eating, just about the enjoyment of the most delicious wings in all of Atlanta.
Such good wings. Oh my God, they are so good.
So not good wings.
You're just wrong. I don't understand. Like what? Like I understand why you might say something is better, but I don't understand why you might say that they're bad. That doesn't make sense to me.
Their sauce, the hot sauce they use is just garbage. It's You know what? It's been a long time. I turned my nose up to them a long time ago. You bring some wings to a tailgate this season, and I will. All
right, I'll tell you. But like, really, if I bring wings, I'm gonna smoke them myself.
Which your wings are really good. I enjoyed your wings. So
see,
bring their wings and bring your wings, and let me figure out which one's better. Just bring me wings. There's
a common denominator here. Bring wings.
Just bring me wings. I'm bad about eating at tailgates. Are you bad about eating at tailgates? Like I get there.
I don't do it.
And we get there, we get set up, we get our drinks going, and then I just end up talking, and I want everyone else to have a good time. And I forget to eat.
Me too.
Pay no attention.
Absolutely.
To it.
Yes, 100%. I'm like so bad. I'm like, oh, save me like one or two of those, and then I go back and I'm like, oh, shit, they're gone. I wanted that. They're gone. They're all gone. They must have been great.
Whatever it was awesome. So, I did see we talked about doing this as well. We're gonna have our blue cocktail contest at one of the games this
Perfect.
season. And I
Yes.
saw on my TikToks today a blue cocktail popped up. I'll have to do a test on it. It did involve over 3.5 liters of vodka in it. I may have to pare that recipe down a little bit because that seems like an excessive amount of vodka. If we're doing a contest where there's
I'm
going to
pretty
be,
sure it's just add blue curacao to anything you like.
but you add the blue curacao. But what do you add the blue curacao to?
Anything you like.
That's what I'm saying. We got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And if you're doing something like you're trying to pull off a brown liquor or whatever, you got to add a lot of blue curacao to overcome that. And at that point, you're just drinking blue curacao. So
I'm sorry, I don't want that. You guys are losing that one if you give me brown liquor.
Sorry for boring you with your yawning there.
I tried to hide it. Did not work.
Did a horrible job.
Jesus Christ.
I think with that we can close it up this week and head over to last
minutes,
call.
So basically 15 minutes per host. And since we're down one host, we usually go 45 minutes. We're at 30 and we're good.
Crushed it. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We do have a lot of cool ideas coming up for this next athletic season. So that's a lot of the stuff's going to be exclusive to our Patreon members. So I would encourage you to get in now when the getting's good. You can join in for as little as $3 a month, get you access to our private group chat, discounts on merch, live stream access to both the they have the weekly episodes as well as last call, and like we put out Coach Elliott's interview was also done early for just our Patreon members. So consider getting in while those low amounts are still available. I think there's $2 or $3 left, and then it goes up from there. So we're gonna go over to last call, drink some more. Ryan can say what he really thought about everything without holding back.
I try not to cuss so much.
And we'll talk to you guys next week. Say goodbye, Guy.
Goodbye, Guy.